We are on.
What was that space? I want you to do it again.
That was an exclusivity for those that were waiting for me.
Okay, good.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so
hi,
Hello.
welcome
hi.
to our amazing stream again. As always, we're professional. We are amazing at doing it, so you're gonna be impressed. Today we're gonna talk about the demo and why we've decided to do a standalone scene and to work on something that it's not gonna be on the game. Um, we have with us Audrey, our director. I'm gonna butcher everything I'm gonna say in English today because that's the way I do it. Jeff, our the word I cannot say
UX
UX
specialist.
specialist. Okay,
User experience specialist.
that
Yes.
yes, thank you.
Yeah. No problem.
And Michael, our creative director or dictator, depending on the day. Um,
Hi.
I don't know if anyone wanted to start anything, but at the beginning of
Me-
yes, you can go. Go ahead.
Did you want to introduce yourself as well?
Oh, I'm Jess, project manager, the one who's always there. We've not seen each other because I'm not often on Steam, but I.
Hi, Jess.
Hi,
Hi, everyone.
Jess. Hi, guys.
In the middle, you're gonna see a broadcast of our demo just so you can take a look at what we are talking about if you haven't played it, or if you have played it because it's pretty, so.
I seems completely out of focus. I'm just double checking that everything is working. I'm sorry if I'm not looking at it. I will be back in a few seconds. We appear to be live on our own page, but I don't see us on the next fest page. But we have yeah, there we are. And
Yay!
clearly at the top
Ooh!
because we are scheduled.
Hello,
Awesome.
Oh
everyone!
my. Hi.
So everything is working perfectly. So
You
I
can
will
hear
now.
everyone?
I heard already and checked if I heard anyone
Cool.
else.
If you're there, you're supposed to hear everyone
I heard
because.
myself. That's terrible. So I'm going to mute everything.
Perfect. If you have any question or any comments, Miguel is gonna be the one who's gonna be
Oh,
on the
okay.
look.
So I'm going to
Yes, keep it
open the chat.
open because I have
Perfect.
two.
Okay.
I only have one screen and too many things open.
In that case, I won't be able to see the questions and things, so I will go blind. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, thank you. So the video in the middle is gonna loop, so it's gonna start again, and you'll be able to see something else than just the name of people that voice the game. At the beginning of when we start doing a prototype to work on something to show off to people and publisher, we're uncertain about what we were gonna do because some people's are not thinking that demo are a good thing anymore. I'm not sure why, because I really like the idea and I was not understanding necessarily why it was not a good thing to have a demo, but we were not sure what we were supposed to do with that and what we were supposed to choose. So in 2009, I don't know if any of the guys want to.
2009. I don't.
2009, 19.
We hadn't graduated.
I've said it.
back
I'm
then.
gonna butcher anything in English today. So I'm gonna leave it to someone that
Okay.
know how to do sentences.
Well, I'm going to jump on that and in fact say that at that point, what we created wasn't a demo at all. That was a prototype. We just started to work on the game and decided it's a fair dose of naivety, I believe, that to show that. Well, we look when we're looking again at it was fairly. I don't want to I don't want to say terrible, but let's say rough.
Yeah.
It wasn't up to par to our standards.
No.
It was an early prototype. We wanted to make sure that we nailed what we call the 3Cs, so camera, controls, and character, but also try to see if we can have a direction for the theme of the game and everything. And even that changed quite drastically from the previous prototype. The story
And-
changed. But
well,
Yeah,
the
go
story
ahead.
of the scene changed, but not the whole game. And you said we wanted to nail the 3 Cs, but I'd say we didn't
We
nail
didn't.
any of them.
Or we wanted to get something out at the time,
Yeah,
something that could be shown to other people publicly, and we
that
did.
wasn't the case.
We're
We
our
showed it
babies. We
publicly, but
try
it
our
should have been.
best.
We still use it for the MIGs.
Yep, we
Yeah, but
did.
we should have kept it on the wrap and just progress on our side and show the next version. Let's say. I think it was a bit too early now. With
But people remember us from that time when they
Yeah, I
try
know, I
it.
know,
So,
I agree, and I don't,
Uh,
and I disagree too, because that makes what our first big convention in terms of video games and everything, but it also allowed us to reach out to a lot of people, some very influential in the sphere of video games in Quebec specifically.
it's a first and only since well we
Yeah.
all
We're
know
gonna
what
be back
happened
at
after
it.
season
It.
19.
eh,
but it was a great learning experience. We've heard a lot of people about what we've done, and it helped us nail more of what we were trying to say and show with it. We didn't made it for like just the next step with it, but it was a lot more. We learned a whole lot. In 2019, it was quite rough, like Jeff said.
But the prototype wasn't that bad at all. I mean, it was useful. and
Have
we-
you
No,
tried
no,
it?
I do not agree with that. I think the prototype was meant to be like it was, and it was okay because we had to. I can talk for me. I can speak for me now, but we had a lot of stuff to do with the artistic direction, and we tried a lot of things. We tried a lot of different style though too with this, and I think it was useful to have that.
Yeah.
And we had something pretty, not as pretty as what we have now, but we had something pretty to show at the mix at that time. So I think it was pretty good, and it was also the beginning of our our idea. So
I'm not that much concerned about the graphics, and the story itself was more the mechanics and design that was in
Gotcha.
progress.
well, it allowed us to nail the length of each of the memories too. If
Yep.
you recall, the prototype
was
was
quite long.
actually very long. Yeah,
Yep.
divided into like 3
Yeah.
different sections, and we tried to put as much as possible in it, and that was a mistake, but we were able to learn from that mistake, and
It
I
was
think
a
we're
bit all
better for
over
it.
the place. But in fact, I
it
remember
was.
it. There's a lot of things that was in the prototype that are not in the demo at the moment, and are not even in the first phase of the game. But there are some interesting place to go and things to do that we didn't go further with them, but are gonna be interesting to think about and to look at when we're gonna be further in the game. Also,
And it's not because something was removed from the prototype or for this from the scene that the idea has been completely scrapped.
the old void was a big part of the prototype that is not anymore, but
Well,
it's not a bad place.
It's
or-
still in the yeah.
Yep.
it's not because it's not it as present that it won't be in the future either. So some ideas might resurface later on.
I remember that at first the whole concept of the scene of that prototype, there was no void in it. It was only the cabin itself, and we realized at that point that just exploring the first scene without going inside of the void didn't reflect what we wanted to do with the whole game. So in a way, what we ended up doing with the demo take its roots from that prototype when we decided to like branch out and create something and push it further than we expected at first, just to be able to showcase the void.
Yeah. And also, I
They'll-
remember we tried thing like when Bernard had a brother and we lost him, but we
Shadow
knew what
Kid.
we wanted to do with that. So we wanted to give him a background and giving give him some memories that the player can relate to, and we we took that and we put that in the final game
Yeah.
anyway. It's not exactly the same that what we had before, but it's the idea that is the same.
And the
So
prototype let us think about the fact that we don't want to be the story of porno to be dramatic and to be sad all the time, and every memory to be really the big, sad, deep memory. And that's the prototype that let us know that it was not the path that we wanted to take. So that too.
Yeah, that prototype story was dark and tragic. God. And unclear, but you know.
and
Yo.
it was also a platformer.
Yeah,
Just want to
yes.
say that.
Had some elements.
Just to let
Okay.
you know, the prototype was about you know, if you've tried a game, you've seen we have some echo like of the memories, and at the prototype phase we only add the Shadow Kid, who was
Shadow
Bernard's dead brother, that like his mind didn't really remember. It was weird, really weird.
That's why I meant that the story of that scene, and
But
it also affected the rest of the game, but that was
that
quite changed.
that Shadow Kid, okay, because if people's people who are looking at us right now didn't play that prototype
Prototype.
before, the Shadow Kid was a character that
Oh.
we didn't finish, but we needed to represent Bernard's brother with
Okay,
it.
I need to
So
show
we
it. I'm gonna find some. Oh yes, it's not
Oh no.
exactly him because it's a weird phase of him when he was not doing great. But
When was he doing
so
great? Tell me.
that Shadow Kid,
That's him.
was uh, Bernard's brother, and it was a character that we didn't finish. And finally, it was the baseline for us creating the echo after that.
yeah,
So it was
Nightmare
not
fuel.
meant to be at first, but when we put that in the prototype and then continue and needed to have something visual to represent the echoes, we took that Shadow Kid. That wasn't even meant to be. So
I think we saw Shadow Kid enough.
it's okay. He's gone now.
Okay. I
Okay.
still see it on the side.
We have a delay, like 30
Working
seconds or
at you.
something.
I still see him in my nightmares.
Okay, great.
And so, just so you know, we have Grosse Pomme in the chat. So,
Oh.
hello, Grosse Pomme.
Hello,
Hello,
Ghost Bob.
But we don't have anything from that prototype in the final demo. Nothing at all. If I remember.
I think we have a few interactions
We-
and The
No,
main
not even the interaction. We have what remains of that are all elements we built upon. We have, I think, even everything graphics has been redone. Every assets, every texture has been redone since then. So there may be a couple props that are left
Yeah,
inside of the
maybe.
demo itself, but most of it has been redone. The story has changed quite a lot, but again, there's some reminiscence of that prototype, but there's nothing concrete that has been transferred from the prototype to the demo or the game itself. They're just the roots of the game take place inside of the prototype, but they're not they're not part of the game or the demo anymore.
Okay. When we've gone far away from that prototype, we went all in the first scene of the game. Before even we thought about doing a standalone scene, when it's the actual first scene that we have for the phase one of the game at the moment, I think, or it was something else.
From the start, that was supposed to be the first scene of the
Okay.
game, and at that point, when we stopped building the prototype and started working on the first scene, our goal was again to showcase it, but in this instance, not to the public, but for publishers, investors, and things that showcase what we wanted to create with the game. So we weren't unsure what to do with that, which scene to take. So we decided to go and and start working on that first scene, which is one that's closest to what the prototype was. So we're at the cabin, we go fishing with Bernard's father, things like that. But
No dead brother.
no dead brother, no void, no nothing, just the fishing part and the
Which
cabin.
is why we could not do a demo with it, and we also needed something more to represent the degeneration in something different because maybe you don't know, but the whole game is gonna be the degeneration coming through the story and the narration and the art and everything. But at the beginning of the game, we don't showcase that, so it's harder to show anyone what we want to do because the first scene is more simple and more joyful and less
Grounded.
Yeah.
Yeah, it serves as a base for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
But when we started working on that scene, we didn't realize that. We worked quite a long while on that scene and showed it. In terms of timeline, we finished the prototype at the end completely of 2019, and the first scene, I think I wrote summer 2020, something like that. Before we had something playable, and we showed it for the first time in January, I think, for the demo night in 21. That's the first time we showed the scene, and at that point we started to realize that it was not enough. It showed a scene, and we understood it, and we understood where we were going with it, but it was not enough to explain and make people understand what the game will be with only that scene, since essentially we don't have any cognitive degeneration. So you start as old Bernard in his cabin, and then you take control of the younger version of Bernard, as yourself, and then you explore everything, go fishing, and that's it though. So it's just a simple exploration game, so there's not everything we want to do with Spiral overall. So at that moment we started thinking, what can we do? And that how we started thinking about the demo. I don't know if on that short phase anyone else wanted to jump in.
Well, good for that one.
No.
You're explaining it quite well. When we decide to do the standalone scene, we choose the. Are you showcasing the door in that video? You should be ashamed showing to everyone our secret door. When we start working on the demo, we choose the cabin because it's kind of that nostalgia museum, that grounded part of Bernard's mind. When he's old, is always going there, and it's kind of a great representation of all of his life in one place. So we wanted to take that space.
Also, a recurrent scene. We're going back throughout the game, I think 4 or 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
We see it evolve with him.
Mm-hmm. And you can see through the game, like all the time making that space change, because when he was younger he's going there, but it's not the same place than when he's older, and all of his memory and all of his stuff is there, and it's not his parents' place, it's his own. So we wanted to take that place to like, I don't know how to say that, but to present it to the player, like that's gonna be the place that you're gonna see and that you're gonna go all the time, so you can meet it, and you can meet Bernard, and you can meet all of the. I know you don't really know a lot about them, and you cannot understand really their story or who they are, but you meet some name and you hear some voice that you don't know who they are, but you can meet them before you can really go deep into their stories.
You don't know anything, but you know it. This is memories,
Mm-hmm.
and you know it.
But that's
important people to.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's an important space to Bernard, and he comes back to it, just like you said, throughout his life, making it his after his parents pass away eventually.
Do they?
But everybody dies.
Are you sure?
Everybody dies. One day.
I mean, He's an old man, so I suppose that's not
Yeah,
bad.
I think rare are those that still have both parents at 80 years old past.
Some,
That's
but
possible, but that's rare.
not a lot of people do.
Yeah. And I just want to say that I didn't know we had a knitted hidden door
Yeah,
in
you
our
didn't?
demo. No,
See?
I just learned that.
Surprise.
Everybody knows the secret of the door now. I didn't show it when I was playing it.
But what is that door for?
Oh. No,
Good
for
idea.
some that don't know either, because we talk like everybody know what we're doing, but nobody knows because we're not that big. But when you go through Bernard's mind and through his memory, we're gonna go down that spiral stair that you can see in the demo at the back of the cabin, and on our logo is the I never remembered stone staircase. Okay, that's the word I was searching for. And when you go down that stairs, you're gonna meet some door. You can enter them or not. That is your choice, and you can go into his memory. So you have some special door that you can see, like the banner of the demo is one of the door that you're gonna see in that staircase, and all of them have their own personality and their own look to represent that memory. And same as the cabin, everything is gonna go. Okay,
I don't have the word for you, sorry.
they're gonna change.
They're gonna evolve.
Thank you. That's the word I was
Okay.
searching for. Okay, I quit.
Again, quit quitting. But I'm going to maybe add some, and hopefully you're going to jump in with me.
No, I
With
won't.
that explanation. But when we started thinking about the demo, so as I mentioned, with the first thing we realized that we would not be able to make people understand what the game is, and the cognitive degeneration isn't apparent. We started thinking which thing could we start working on that would showcase that, and realize that whatever scene we're going to pick, it will only show a different aspect of that process, of that journey in Bernard's mind. If we're going at the end of the game, everything would be deconstructed, and you will feel the all the pressure of his disease, but you don't see any progress. You just see the results. So we were thinking, what can we do to, inside of a demo, show that progression? So we decided to go all in and time a demo. At first, the first version was 10 minutes exactly. You started a demo, you didn't even had an opening cinematic. I think you just started right in the middle of Bernard's cabin, and everything slowly started to generate. And at the end, you had what we still have in the demo, so everything is black, and you fade out. And thank you for playing. Uh, but it show how we want, at least to an extent. I mean, we cannot go as deep as you will be able to go with the game as a whole, but you still see everything progress, and you see the different phases of Bernard's mind when he remembers everything somewhat clearly, and then start to forget some pieces, mixed up things, until the point where he just doesn't remember anything. Um, sorry, just saw a comment of just can't quit. She's our designated pro streamer, so and you know who sent that message. So yeah, where was I? I lose focus.
You wanted
Yeah,
to see. You wanted to showcase the progress of
Yeah.
the erosion
Inside
of
that 30
Bernard's
minutes.
memory and mind.
We're not able to go as deep, but still we're able to showcase everything. In that first version of the demo, we still had an older version of the journal. So at the entry, and you had some kind of ink stain, I think, making things increasingly difficult to read, but it was a bit messy. So eventually we came to the version we have at that point, and we didn't have either any of the other mechanics inside of the game. But I'm
Good
going to stop
timing.
there.
Boom. Right on it. That.
But I won't go right now inside why we added them. So just to give some room, since I seem to be monologuing.
Oh, I
on
do
that
that
screen.
often. You can go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, now it's
Uh,
Audrey, Jeff, and you time.
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
You're fine. No, okay. I can talk if you want. I can broke my English and everybody's ear if you want. I like the fact that maybe people don't like that, but I like it that Bernard is alone. We only have access to his echo, and we see the character when he was younger, but we don't have anyone else. We cannot go outside of the cabin other than the balcony, I guess.
They're very personal scenes with
Yeah.
Bernard and whoever else is in that echo, and I just like the fact that we're letting players loose in this environment.
Mhm.
They get to choose where they want to go, what they want to interact with, and in what order. And we allow them to make their own story by connecting the dots, figuring out what happens. There are different versions too of the echoes that players can revisit too. So depending on what they see, they might not puzzle everything together the same way as someone else, or even as it actually happened.
Yep.
And I think that's actually very interesting because, well, the whole concept of the demo is to showcase that Bernard is becoming more and more unreliable as a narrator, as a person with his memory, and so is the cabin. It's disintegrating. It's losing pieces of itself. It's getting more and more confusing. Kind of like playing tricks on Bernard's mind, and well, that shows the theme pretty well, I think.
Yeah. I really like to watch streamer play the demo because every time they get kind of lost and they're like, I don't know where to go. It's too dark. I'm feeling like I have no place to go. I have nothing to interact with or nothing to do. But just that fact, the feeling of not being able to pursue your goal and to continue.
They start feeling trapped.
Yes, I like that because even if they don't like it, the fact is what we wanted to do. What's exactly that? When they see the doll in the bathroom and they go out of the bathroom and they go in the kitchen and they see it there and they're like, but I've seen that. Yeah, but try again. It's not the same. Thing move and they feel like they don't understand what's happening around them, and it's the feeling that we wanted to create. So I just like that. Sometimes people don't even open the journal and they go through downstairs and they pick everything up, and when the phase down, because most people don't see the little blue dot and they don't follow them, when phase 2 comes, they go upstairs and they meet the same thing that they met downstairs, and that changed the fact that at some point Michael did the change of place. Like at the beginning, every phase things were not moving, they were staying at the same place and people didn't reach for them again because they've already seen them. But moving them make them asking themselves, did I was, and they do it again and they understand that it changed. So I really like what we did. I'm a big fan because I didn't do any work inside of that, so I can think it from outside.
It's actually a clever trick because what we used to do was after interacting with an object, you would lose that interaction after having heard the voice line and everything. But as the demo progressed, sometimes the interaction would come back on as the demo progressed. But exactly like you said, so why would I want to re-interact with that item? I'm just going to get the same thing, and then they move on. But yeah, it's a clever solution.
And sometimes they don't realize at the first try.
No.
They will have to do it another time. And they always try another time because they have so many stuff to try that they have to go back and look again, and then they realize you can have another narrative for each things they pick up.
And if
That's
you've gone,
something that caught me by surprise. The fact that I, nearly everyone play at least twice. I
Yeah.
mean, again, today we had someone that came in saying he was playing the demo for the first time. So I checked the time, see when he would be back to give his feedback, or if we would at all. But it took twice as long, and he came back say I played it twice, and it appears to be the first instinct of most people, and I was not expecting that. So yes, you cannot do everything on the first try, but still, it's a narrative game, so I was expecting people to just do demo once and be done with it. But most people tried twice at least, and many have played it much more than that, and that always surprises me.
it's
And
cool
at the first
because
time, oh,
oh,
sorry, Jess,
go
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 for
ahead, go ahead.
it. And at the first time, I wasn't sure that that would be great to have a time limit.
Mhm.
And finally, because of that, I think it was a good idea because it forces the player to try again and look all around. And also, it adds to that feeling you have that you are losing everything and you have
I'm just
nothing
running
to
out.
do for that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think we also had good feedback from the Alzheimer's Society, right? From our demo.
Not for the demo itself. It was. I
I
don't
do
think
recall
they
that you.
came back with this one.
You sure? Because I recall you showed it to them, and
We
mentioned that we had
showed it.
nailed a few things
Oh,
based
I
off
think
of their
they saw La
experience.
Fabrique culturelle, didn't they?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I know we showed the prototype at them and they had good feedback. For the demo, I don't know I sent it to them, and I
I'm.
think when I pitched the demo I had some good feedback, but I don't think I heard about from them after they played it.
I don't want
I
to
may be
speak for
wrong.
them, but I do vaguely recall you or Jess telling us about like some feedback that we had received on the demo itself, not on
Okay.
the specifically with like the change of
Maybe you're
locations for
talking
items.
about when, just to make sure I'm not
Mm,
butchering their name, but it was L'Abri du Gamer, I think, that tried their game, and one of their intervenants was working with degenerative people,
Maybe.
and
maybe.
she was saying that I'm gonna say them. I'm not sure if they were saying that it was really great how we did it and what we represent and the way we were doing it and trying to showcase it, and it was on point. And they were talking about the moving thing and the way Bernard is speaking to himself and the change and the music and the darkness. So maybe that's what you're referring to. But
Perhaps.
I didn't talk lately to the, the,
Oh, then
the
we should
Alzheimer's
definitely show
Society.
them the demo.
We've sent them to. I think
Okay.
Mikael had a meeting with them
Ah,
after we've lunch, so
Okay.
it's in there, and they're just really busy.
Uh, they're busy. It's okay.
I'm sorry, I have an angry puppy.
a few more things I'd like to add. One of the things that perplexes me is the fact that I read, uh, anytime they talk about the game based on the demo, I read that the
You
game will be
you think about article
yes,
when people
article
write
that's
about us? Yeah.
a few of them mention that Spiral will take place inside of Bernard's cabin, and I mean the demo is there, but not the game.
No.
It's only one environment. It won't be the
Yeah.
whole game there. The same way we don't have any characters inside of the demo, but we have them inside of the game. So
Yeah.
many people doesn't seem to grasp that.
I think it could be maybe because of that kind of thing that people say making a demo is not a good idea. Because sometimes people don't understand what you want. And also, we have a standalone scene because sometimes people
Yeah.
go with a demo that is something you will have to play in the game as
Well,
is.
like
But
Nintendo, for example, right now, all the demos that they're releasing, you can carry over your saves, and it's actually the first like 3 hours of the game. But
yeah,
but for Spiral, I mean, the first 3 hours of the game is almost the first episode. So, and
because
yeah,
the demo is the concept.
Yeah.
This is what we want you to feel, but it is not the game. And so I think it's difficult to understand. I think
It's
some
like
people that are,
15 minutes to represent
yeah,
like 10 hours.
yeah, and also people that maybe don't play often and some narrative game too. It could be different. It could be harder to understand because it's different. And yeah, I think what I'm trying to say here is that our game is not like the other games. And
We're
maybe
trying.
we've learned that a while ago.
and I think it shows because of that. And I think it was a good idea to have that demo because it's different. So
Just to let people know also, because it's my big thing to say that every time, but the demo is a lot darker than the game will be. In fact, the game aim to showcase Pornor's life. It's not about his disease. It's really about him and what he's going through. So you're following him during his life, but it's not only happy memory, because nobody has only happy memory, but the story aim at something more beautiful, and you that you can feel it with him. You can go through his life and feel like it
Empathize.
could be yours also. So it's gonna be something more sunny. I don't know how to speak in English.
yeah, I mean
So
it's gonna represent an entire life.
yeah, but in a
So
joyful way. It's a beautiful life that he had, but now he's having that disease, and the fact that the demo is that much darker, it's because all of his life is compressed into like 15 minutes, so it's gonna be a lot more intense and deep than what you're gonna go through when you're gonna be in the game.
I mean, we definitely don't aim the game to be a tragedy,
No.
but it is going to be emotional.
Yeah.
It is going to be. Hopefully, we want you to sympathize, empathize with Bernard as you learn more about him, the people close to him, and as he slowly, loses his mind, right? So it's just that.
That's the reason why we don't want the story itself to be a tragedy, since what's happening is already the tragedy. We don't need to press it even more. That's we understand that's tragic, so the story itself can be beautiful and light. And as Jessica mentioned, there's darker moments in his life, but that's
in a
normal
sense,
life.
it's even sadder because he actually had a good life,
Mm-hmm.
but he can't
Yeah.
remember it anymore, or he won't.
So it's normal that you don't understand everything. It's normal that if you play the demo once and you go upstairs only on phase 2, that you're gonna think that Bernard has two little child in the bedroom. But if you try to put pieces together, there are things that you can understand in the demo. And is it true? Is it the reality? Can you believe what Bernard is saying? That's something that you're gonna need to go through the game to learn and to see, and to even there maybe you won't be able to catch the real story because he's the one telling it, but that's what we're aiming for in the demo, just to let you meet the environment and people and what the game will be, sort of.
Since time is moving forward and not backward, I'm going to jump in on the last phase and the reason why we move towards it. In fact, they Jeff and Jess sold a few of our elements. So at first, with the first version of the demo, we didn't had those objects moving. As they mentioned, we implemented them to.
It's like the secret door, but it's the one I'm telling.
It's, So we wanted to have a way to encourage people to re-interact with elements. So that has been a problem with in every other playtest. We did quite a lot of playtests for that demo, and every time people interacted once and then ignored them until the very end, when they realized that they had interacted with everything, then they understood. Okay, if I interact again, then it's something else. So we wanted to change that, and that's how we came up with elements moving around. The echoes were not there. Some of
At
you
first.
remember. At
Yeah,
first,
that's
they
true.
were not there. They were added fairly late, I think in January, February, something like that. At
Yeah.
first, we had every voices, but the echoes were not there, and that was a way to add some of those characters with give them a physical presence and not only a voice in Bernard's mind. And the last element, the one, well, if you're looking at the video, you may saw it, you may have seen it a couple of times. It's the mechanics. So again, one of the comments we received multiple times is, why do we only move around and interact with elements when in the game itself we're going to do more than that? We're going to have specific mechanics, specific interaction. We're going to go outside of the cabin. So why don't we see that inside the cabin itself? So we didn't want to change the context. It was already working. We're already satisfied with what was there, but we understood also that comments, that perspective. So we wanted to add a way visit to have snippets, a teaser of those future elements.
Which is coming in now. Timing. Boom. Again.
So we wanted to make just very, very little pieces of what you're going to see and do inside the game itself. Those are two small mechanics that we have in phase one. They are not the only ones, but they are two that are fairly representative of two big scenes. Uh,
And they're
and
just
that's
examples too. We have other
yeah,
things.
yeah.
You're not going to be fishing the entire time.
No, not at all.
Fishing
In
Simulator
fact,
Bernard Edition.
in fact, I think the maximum we have a mechanic is 3 times inside of the game, and most of them are seen maybe twice. Those mechanics are there to help you connect with what Bernard did himself all those years ago. So they happen to him, so you do them. We're not suddenly going to fish in every scene or sneak in every scene. It's because something happened that made him do that. I'm not going to spoil anything, but those elements are there for a reason, and you give the variety also to the game, since you're going to do so many different things throughout it. Uh, yeah, I think that's it for me. Go ahead.
Go
It's your
ahead.
turn
Where?
again.
You're leaving it like that? Okay.
Yeah, in the middle
Just want
of
to
a
say that
sentence.
at first I was playing for a very, very long time at fishing with Dad. It was very difficult for me to catch that fish.
We went. It was a really really long path to have the fishing we have at the moment.
Yeah.
I think Michael has some PTSD about it.
It's his own fault for trying to make us rotate the freaking mouse to catch the reel in.
It was not easy. Not that it's easy for everyone. Some still get confused about what to do and how to do it. But let me tell you, it's
It's so
so
much
easy
straightforward.
when
No,
you think
yeah,
about
much more
easy.
straightforward.
It's better than it was, for sure.
And yes, we have a multiple gameplay that will go feel like you're doing what he was doing when you're gonna go through it. But like Miguel said, we're not gonna spoil anything. But
And don't worry, I'll make sure to go through the entire game and make sure that the things are simple and easy to use and straightforward.
And at first, I did
No,
the mouse like this to
yeah.
wheel the thing, but I was running
In
Are
the
you
middle.
using the middle mouse
I
button?
was rotating the middle button
Oh god.
at first instead of moving
Yeah.
the
That's
mouse.
what happens when you don't read the tutorial.
But
Or when
most
the
people
tutorial is
don't.
crap.
That's why we need to be more
Yeah,
easy.
no. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just like giving the evil eye to Mick for coming up to that with that idea.
No, I removed it completely. But for a time, both way were doable. You could either click or rotate
Yeah.
your mouse, but now it's only clicking.
Mhm.
I just removed it completely because made people even more confused when they stopped clicking and moved their mouse, and Bernard started clicking again. So
And at the beginning, the explanation, the tutorial for it was so
yeah.
complex. He was using his big words that nobody understand.
No.
Even
No, what I was trying to do was have a tutorial, but with um, thematics. So I
Yeah.
was using words linked to fishing and trying to, and it was very long, and I think it was maybe 7 or 8 sentences, and in 2 parts. So
You
in the
need the
end, I
critical
was
information, 3 sentences
uh,
at max.
oh,
Icons
it's
if
like
you can.
4 or 5 words.
But at the end of the day, this is another proof that the demo was meant to be, because all those tests and all those different problem we had are solved now.
yeah.
Things that we wouldn't have
No, the only
now.
thing that is not solved is people not being able to quit the journal. Because he
Yeah,
didn't
really?
put yeah
That's not fixed
because
yet?
we have to post it to tab to open it, but there's nothing after all, so people don't know. They're just like,
But you just have
oh
to use tab again.
yes, I know, but sometimes people don't remember what they did to
Okay,
open it.
okay,
I
yeah.
even
Yeah.
didn't remember at some point.
Plus, you're using the mouse to navigate, so it stands to think that you would have something else. But yeah, I can see that.
I think we had comments yesterday on our community hub in Russian. I think that is like I alt F4 and quit. It was just
Oh. Ew. Also, I see in the demo right now that when we open the journal, we are still missing that picture, that one.
No, that's
It's
an
better,
old
but it's not
it's an
perfect.
old capture. Oh,
What?
that picture is there. That's an old capture
Yeah.
I did
Oh,
in
fine,
February.
Oh,
good.
okay.
we had an update like June 1st, I think,
Okay,
with some
great.
Oh,
change.
it was that picture came
Before?
in
Okay.
even before that update.
Yeah.
It's been fixed for a while. It
Okay,
was
'cause
The,
I
the
thought
next
it was a
update
curse,
is gonna be the
seriously.
tab, so we can
that
quit the.
and the new main menu and
Yeah.
the new options menu.
And
things
at
like
some
that, but I
point,
don't
it's gonna
know.
come for the. I don't remember the name of your keyboard, but those that don't have the same as us, that we can.
Azerty.
That. So you can change everything and be able to
Oh,
play like Norman.
Yeah, we just saw it. The thing
We're
pictures.
really sorry that we didn't think about you. But that's mainly that, I think. I don't know if anyone wanted to add anything.
Closure statement.
Will we be
No,
able to
wish
play
list
with
us.
the dog?
Yes, you can pet the dog. Yes,
But
you can.
can you play with it?
Yes, you can fetch through the ball, and she's gonna bring it back because she's the best. And she's so good. Oh, lo. Yes, you can play with the dog. You can pet her because she's the best. It's really important, more than anything else. Elfie's gonna be there. You can pet her. You can play with her. You can love her. She needs it. Yes.
Okay.
You didn't knew it was that important, huh? It is.
No, but hey, petting the dog is always important. And playing with the dog was a nice little like wink, but
Yeah.
I mean, I could see myself play with Elfie for like 15 minutes, solid. Why not?
Can we play with her in the park? I know we don't
Uh,
talk about the park yet.
Spoilers, and I'll answer you afterwards.
Okay, perfect. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, you should
We
see the
never heard
text,
that word.
the messages that Mick and I send each other. Like when I reviewed the playtest build like earlier this week. Fun times.
If you want to see more behind the scene, we have a Discord where we're always there to talk, and we showcase some art that we don't have anywhere else. It's not often because we're a small team and we're really busy trying to do the game and being everywhere and streaming and living, but sometimes you have new thing that nobody have. And when we're gonna do playtests, you're gonna be the first to know if you're on our Discord, and we'd be really happy to hear about what you think about the demo and what you think Spial will be and anything. We're there. Just come say hi. We'd be happy.
The next playtest is actually going to focus on the next playtests are actually going to focus on most of the game. So if you want an early look,
Yeah.
you're more than welcome to check it out and give your feedback too. Mick, you're
From
muted,
face.
so your opinion does not matter.
No. He was just silently speaking. He was saying the first phase of the game,
the first
not
phase,
the
yes.
whole game.
I mean, episode what?
Yeah.
That's not the word you're using.
No,
Okay.
we cannot use that word anymore. It's
Even
phase
if
one.
it's written at the top of
Yeah,
the
I know it's right. I always think it's funny. I'm like, phase one. It's written episode, but okay.
So I'm in my report. I'm gonna say name is counterintuitive.
Please do. Audrey, you were gonna say something before.
Yeah, wishlist.
Yeah,
Wish
do.
this.
That's it.
Follow us on
What you say?
Facebook.
Important wishlist.
Join our Discord.
Follow us, like us.
Yeah,
I don't know what people say, but that.
We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok,
Yes, we
we're
are.
on Twitter.
Yes.
And the
also.
smoke signals.
Yes, we do that.
Yeah, also.
Add us on what is it? MySpace.
No, we're not on MySpace anymore.
Oh.
What? IRC.
On a more
Come on, guys.
serious
MSN
note, I
Plus.
just want to add as one last thing. One of the great parts that released the demo really early compared to the rest of the game is that any feedback you have, we still have time to integrate it to the game. So we had someone ask for a way to read the text, make it larger on the screen, that AZERTY keyboard and things like that. So any comments you send our way, we don't mean we're going to do it. It depends, but at least we have the opportunity to take it into account and adapt the development of the game with every comments and every feedback we receive. So feel free to do so. You can do it on our Discord, on our Steam page. We try to keep a look at, even if it took a while the first time to understand what people were writing to us on that. But but we try to stay up to date. Send us an email if you prefer emails. You cannot call us. Our number is nowhere, but email, Steam, Discord.
You
Twitter,
can, if you find any of us on LinkedIn or Twitter or Instagram, you can reach to us everywhere we
or on the
want.
street. You can stop us.
Yeah.
Discord.
Don't call us
there.
though. I don't pick up my phone.
I don't pick up my phone
so,
either.
Don't call. But yeah, just to piggyback on what Mick was saying, do leave us feedback, positive, negative, any comments. If you have love, send it. If you have things that you would like to see improved, send it as well. Suggestions maybe on like what could be interesting and so on for the future of the game. We might not do it, or we might, but it's good to keep us engaged with you guys. But
Even
also
if you're
to keep
mad
you involved.
and you hated it, but you're objective enough to say things that are constructive, we want to hear it. We want to know what you didn't like and why you didn't like it. Maybe we're never gonna be your kind of game, but maybe we can improve ourselves for those that love it. I didn't want to make silent.
Oh,
I'm sorry for that silence.
Are pretty much the end anyway of our stream, so
thank you so much for being there, everyone.
Thanks.
Someone told us hi, so
Hi.
Hi.
elegancy. Hi, elegancy.
Thank you so much for being there. To everyone on the stream and everyone watching, we're so glad to have you, and I hope we're gonna have an amazing evening, day, morning, wherever
Make
you
yourself
are,
some
night.
cookies.
Yes,
Make yourself some cookies from the recipe and tell us how it went.
It's a great idea. And send us
I'm
picture.
hungry.
I have a
Sorry.
folder full of cookie picture. So thank you so much, and bye bye. See you next time.
You.
Bye bye.
Good evening.
And we've stopped.